Hey, this is Mark at Motor City Nightmares. You may recognize this lady here. You might recognize her from being on a bus with a little guy with some like little leg things here. This is Hannah Hall. You remember her from Forrest Gump, Halloween, and the Virgin Suicides. Tell us, how did you get started in acting?
I just went to a nationwide cast search for Forrest Gump and ended up getting the part.
What are your memories of working on that movie? I know it's a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually have a lot of vivid memories just being on set and Forrest, the guy who played Forrest as a kid, Michael Humphreys and I, and his mom and my mom, we all lived together in a house that we rented and on the beach. So I remember that very vividly. And yeah, it was just a really fun experience. I think when you're a kid, you don't really question things as much. You're just like, oh, yeah, this is what I'm doing right now.
Do you ever like have any like reunions with any of the cast from Forrest Gump?
No, I ran. Michael and I reconnected after probably about like 15, 20 years recently, so that was really nice.
I know he was in the military.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What are some of the pros and cons of being in that movie?
Well, it's definitely an iconic film. I think I like reside in deep in people's psyche somewhere. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you look so familiar," and I'm like, Where'd you go to high school?" Because they have some weird connection. I mean, I don't think there's too many cons to being a part of something like that.
You hear people saying, "Are you Robin Wright?"
Yeah, yeah. That is not a con. That is a compliment.
And then you got to work on The Virgin Suicides with Sophia Coppola, Kirsten Dunst. What was that experience like?
Oh, I loved. I mean, that was one of the first scripts I ever read where I was like, I want to be in this movie. I connected to it so deeply, and I thought Sophia did such a beautiful job with all the imagery and It's, I may be biased, but it's my favorite movie of hers. I think she did an incredible job. But yeah.
And then you got to work with Rob Zombie on Halloween as Judith Myers. Tell us a little bit about that.
I didn't expect to get that role at all, but Rob saw my tape and he cast me right off of that. And originally it was supposed to be doing full frontal nudity, so I was like, that's fine as long as it's not gratuitous and there's a reason why. And so I was like, have Rob call me. And so he called me from like a children's birthday party, like right before Christmas, which is hilarious. And we discussed the character, and I was like, okay, great. I totally understand like why he had written it that way. We ended up not doing it on the day because Dade couldn't be in the scene because he was underage. So we changed it last minute. But yeah, the whole experience was, a lot of creative people involved. You could tell everyone really loved being there and working with Rob. And yeah, great experience.
What do you got coming down the pipeline? What do you got coming out?
I work in production now, so I'm an intimacy coordinator. So I worked on many TV shows and films, and yeah, have a lot of projects coming out. But you can find online somewhere. I'm sure you can see all the stuff I've worked on recently. But yeah, I like production. I'm behind the camera now.
And it was a pleasure speaking with you. We don't take up too much of your time. And this is Mark at Motor City Nightmares with Janae Hannah Hall.